Black Friday sale, and I play with my brothers a bunch. Well, I was on break. It's actually really fun. So basically, if you've ever played DC Deck Builder, it's the same principle. So the only format we could play was Duel because you need to buy more packs of these to play. I didn't know that to play like 4-player or 3-player or so on. There's 3 brothers. I have 2 brothers. Star Realms is pretty good, much better than Dominion for sure. Dominion's fun. Dominion's like the original though. Doherty, says Jace. Kenji was having problems with Moto. Yeah, well, if Kenji's having problems. Anywho, so you have, like, what's cool about this game is it's a deck building game. There's 4 factions. You've got the so you've got the medical. Hang on a second. The robot. Jeez, can I get the actual? Let me get the manual out so I can actually like name these correctly. Each faction has a name. Okay, each faction has a name. Let's just go story time mode. 3. So it's a bigger screen. Hey, I look tired. Well, I drove home today, or I drove here today. So these are the 4 factions. So you've got like a red circle, which is this one. You've got green, which is the blobs, aliens basically. And then you've got a bunch of like human factions. And this one's actually like an android faction. The red faction is actually like androids. So you've got like... This game's actually really cool. Hang on. Okay, so reference sheet. So red is the machine cult. So yeah, these are like androids, robots, basically. Dominion really has multiple strategies. If all the player know how to make a blue deck, draw cards. So this one is really neat. So it has 2 abilities. It costs 1 to buy. So basically, there's what's called the lineup. So basically, when you start a game, your board state looks like this. So this is player 1, and this is player 2, and you have a deck of 10 cards, and those 10 cards are just starter cards, and the lineup is this right here. So there's going to be 5 cards in the middle plus Explorers, which you're always able to buy, and this is one of those cards in the lineup. And so it costs 1 to buy this right here. Its cost. And basically, you get currency by playing out your cards each turn. So your deck is, at first, like the beginning of the game is going to be comprised of 8 scouts. These little guys. So this guy is 1 currency. See, simple, right? Scout says unaligned ship, and it's got 1. So if I were to play this, you know, put it into play, I have 1 currency. Oh, look, there's a trade bot in the lineup. I'm going to buy that. And then it goes into your discard pile along with the scout. At the end of the turn, of course. You also get Vipers. So this game's kind of cool because you actually attack your opponents. Viper. So this is this little crosshair right here, this red crosshair. Damage. So you actually, you don't just attack your opponent, you actually will attack bases, and I'll get to that. So there's a lot of little nuances that are really cool. So let's say my opening hand was like Scout, Vipers. This is a pretty typical opening hand. And you draw, if you're on the draw, you draw the, excuse me, in multiplayer games, of course, it's you subtract 1 or 2 and then 1. And basically, there's handicaps for going first in the game, which I kind of like. So we get to play a Lauren tonight? Maybe, John. Maybe. Somebody was offering. Unless that's you, John. Jeez, I can't remember if that might even be you, friend. Negator. So this is a pretty typical open hand. So 1 Viper doesn't really do much early game, and then 4 Scouts. So if I just deal out a quick lineup for myself, let's say the opener is Tradebot, Battlepod, Frigate, Battle Cruiser, Stealth Needle. I could buy the Stealth Needle because it's a 4. Stealth Needle is really cool. You copy a ship you've already played. It says copy another ship. Oh, you can actually really see that nice and clear. Copy another ship you've played this turn. Stealth Needle has that ship's faction in addition to Machine Cult. So it's really good for comboing. This is a really powerful card. But I might just grab the trade bot because early game this is great. So it says you may scrap a card in your hand or discard pile, and if you play another red card, Machine Cult, the other ability down here triggers, and you get 2 free damage. Have ever played Race to the Galaxy? It's an amazing board game with cards, not a deck building game, which is nice. I happen to like deck building games. I was going to play this with my friend down here at school who plays deck building games. We played a lot of DC, he and I. So he doesn't know about this game at all, so I was going to show it to him. We were going to play it. Why not show and tell? It's very popular before delving spells. Zolia, Sneak and Show is kind of what people are going with now if you want to play that type of archetype. I don't really care too much about the tier system. I find that combo to be very A plus B and therefore boring. But you're welcome to play it. It's very strong. There's nothing wrong with playing Show and Tell. Just expect opponents to be like, "Yep, I'm dead. I've seen this a million times." You know, if you're anything like me, it's kind of cool when your opponent's like, "Oh man," you know, like sometimes like, "I've never seen this before. This is crazy. This is cool." You know, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I like playing zany combos. So let me show you the last type of card. Let me get a good one. Let me show you the most broken one in the game. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Well, it costs a lot to buy, so maybe it's fair costed. But there's like an Imperial, or what are they? The different factions. I didn't even finish telling you. So green, didn't even finish that sentence. Best combo, Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Alright, so we've got the Blob faction. That's the green cards. So these guys, like blobs, blobbity blob, blob ships, aliens. This is a battle pod. Trade Federation, that's the blue guys. Blue guys are like gaining life and like dirtling and drawing cards. Typical blue stuff. This one's like the most dirtly card ever. This is called the Embassy Yacht. The little 3 symbol down here is you gain 3 life, basically. 3 authority, which basically denotes life. And it says, if you have 2 or more bases in play, draw 2 cards. So really dirtly. It's also 2 currency, so it's actually a pretty solid 3-drop to buy. I play Bug Control with no Charlottes for him and Days. That's awesome. Actually seems pretty solid. I mean, I personally prefer Days in like a Delver strategy, but there are other places you can play Days, and it's not bad. Sorry, it's a one of, so I'm looking for it. First of all, it's a one of. It's a really good one of. Hang on, I'll find it. Unless I lost it, that would make me sad. It's really good. Fleet HQ. Alright, check this card out. This card is gross. So now notice how it's, instead of this way, it's sideways. So bases are sideways. They actually go out in front of your main base, which is your life total, and will protect you. Some of them will protect you. Fleet HQ is actually not a protecting base. If you look at the shield in the bottom left corner, your right corner, it'll say 8. So it takes 8 damage to blow up a Fleet HQ. Fleet HQ says all of your ships get +1. Now it also costs 8 to buy. So it's a lot. But this thing is nuts. Basically it turns every ship you draw into damage, which is really good. This reminds me of Ascension. It should. This is a deck building game, Fujin Sensei. Mind if I put the list here? Go for it, Zolia. Absolutely. You are welcome to showcase your list. We will look at it. Yeah, and then of course the basic unit. If you've ever played like something like DC Deck Builder, then you've got your Explorers. This is your bread and butter. This is something you can always purchase each turn, even if you don't have. Now, of course, once this power runs out, you can't buy anymore. But by then, you probably don't need it. So it has 2 modes. The first mode is it always is going to give you currency. It'll give you 2 currency, and it costs 2 currency to buy it, which is nice. Now it has an additional ability. See this little trash can on the side, a little trash symbol right here? That's called scrapping. So you can actually scrap itself. So you play it, and you get the 2 currency that turn. And if you want the extra damage, or you just want to get this out of your deck, because it's late game, you don't need this, you need more damage, I don't know, whatever. You can scrap this, put this in the scrap pile, which means it's no longer in your deck, and it doesn't actually get shuffled back into the pile. It's just gone. And it gives you 2 damage that turn. So you can spend your damage in any which way. The exception is the other type of ship, which I didn't get to. So I showed you a normal ship, which is just, it has health points. Your opponents can shoot it down. It goes back into your discard pile. And then, of course, eventually, once you run out of cards, you're going to shuffle and then redraw. Hands of 5. Let me find one that's got a shield with... Excuse me, it's the rice talking. Here we go. Junkyard, this is a good one. Junkyard, this is from the Machine Cult. So Junkyard is an outpost. So you'll notice the shield isn't just a silver shield, it's a black shield with the word outpost. So this has to take 5 damage before it blows up, and your opponents can't put their damage on anything else until this is destroyed. Other bases that don't have outposts, this actually will protect, and it also protects your main base, your main life total. Yeah, Shade. Anyway, this game's really cool. I could actually play it for you guys on stream. Why am I just explaining it? I could just play it. What's up, Dan? I could just play it. Why am I, like, going through all these efforts to, like, show you the cards this way when we could just play a game? Oh, man. You know, I am tired. You have to forgive me. I did drive for 3 hours. So, versus AI. I could actually play you guys, potentially. So, versus AI. I guess medium? Nah, I'll play hard. It's okay if I die. You guys can laugh at me when I do. Okay, so. He was on the play. So, this hand's pretty simple. I could just hit the play all button because there's no sequencing that needs to happen. Like, your first few turns, you're probably just going to be like, these are my cards. Oh, wow, Fleet HQ in the opener. Wow. Deathrite Shaman. Fleet HQ in the opener. Wow. Okay, so this is really good. This is a battle station. This doesn't actually do anything other than protect you early game, but you can scrap it for 5 damage. It also will help trigger your Machine Cult stuff. You could just buy an Explorer here. A reason to buy the Battleship is well, we need to shoot him for 2. Fleet HQ dies to Doomblade, it's terrible. True. I think I'm supposed to take the Explorer. Let's trying to put list here. Oh, dude, why don't you use like a website for that? I could just take an Explorer. Like, this isn't that good. There's no other red cards to pair it with. I'm gonna take that. Okay, opponent's turn. He bought the what the hell was here? I don't remember now. It was a 4-drop. So we got 5 this turn. So I could pick up the Needle. I actually really like Needle. I could also pick up the Hive. This is 3 damage a turn, and if I get a green card, a blob. We do Show and Tell in Grizzlebrand. Show and Tell in Grizzlebrand is great. I think I take the Hive. I don't really want to be a green deck because they're not that exciting. They make the game go faster, unfortunately. It's a strong strategy. This is a really strong. It's a really strong base. Freighter's okay. Freighter does this. Hang on, let me look at Freighter. You may put the next ship you acquire this turn on top of your deck. So it's a lot of recruit as well. Early game recruit's really good. It might be correct for me to take Freighter because I'm trying to buy the Fleet HQ. You know, I'm going to buy the Freighter. I don't think that's right, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Alright, what have I got? I've got a lot. I've got 6. There's no good 6s to buy, though, but I could buy the Supply Bot. This, of course, will let me fix my deck. I can scrap cards, so I can scrap my beginner cards and make a better deck. Now, what's nice is you get to see the flip, so I can buy this, and then I get the flip. So I could buy this if I had enough. I actually do have a reason to buy the Battle Station now, because the activated ability on this is decent, right? It's 2 damage. It's decent. So I'll go with the base. I don't want to scrap the Explorer, but see, it's highlighted I could. Fox says he bought Explorer. Oh, he bought the Freighter. Okay. Oh wow, Patrol Mech. I think we're getting a little more into red. Patrol Mech is really flexible. This card's great. So early